Today's topic is fractions. Now, what is fractions? Fractions means a part of something. So, fractions is part of something. Now, for an example, if it is usually written in this form 1 by 2. It means there are total of two parts and out of it denotes only one part of it. So diagrammatically it is somewhere like this. One part of it. This is 1 by 2. Only one part of it, or half. If it was 2 by 3, then it is something like this. Divide the whole thing into 3 parts and 2 parts of it, 1 and 2. So this is 2 by 3. Now, fractions have got two parts, the way we write it. The first one, which is written here, it is known as the numerator. And what is here, y, is actually the denominator. So this is always in the form x by y, where is given at the top is called the numerator and what is given at the below is the denominator. So this is the numerator n and this is the denominator. Now this is actually means x divided by y. This is the mathematical meaning of x by y. It can also be written as x by y. All of this and this means the same thing. Only this is the division form and this is the fraction form. Now moving on, we are going to learn about the different types of fraction. First, the like fraction. Now, like fractions are basically the fractions that have the same denominator. For an example, 4 by 7, 3 by 7. Both have the same denominator 7. It means it is a like fraction. If it was 3 by 7 and 2 by 9, then it wouldn't have been a like fraction. Similarly, opposite of like fraction is unlike fraction, which means if the denominators are different. So it means different denominators. If the denominators are different, then they are known as unlike fraction. Numerator doesn't make any difference here. Even if it's given 1 by 3 and 1 by 4, it is an unlike fraction because the denominators are different. But if it is given 4 by 7 and 6 by 7, then it is not an unlike fraction. Moving on to the next type of fraction is what we call proper fraction. This is basically the way in which a fraction is represented. Proper fraction is when in a fraction the numerator is less than the denominator. For example, if we write 3 by 7, here 3 is the numerator and 7 is the denominator. So 3 is the numerator and 7 is the denominator. And here 3 is less than 7, which means the numerator is less than the denominator. Therefore, we will say that this is a proper fraction. Next type of representation of fraction is known as the improper fraction. It is again an opposite of proper fraction where the denominator is smaller than the numerator. For an example, it is 7 by 2. Here 7 is the denominator and 2 is the numerator, and you can see the denominator, 7 is the numerator and 2 is the denominator. And you can see the numerator is greater than the denominator because numerator is 7, denominator is 2. So we will call this as an improper fraction. Improper fraction can be also represented or written in another form. It doesn't make any difference. It's the same thing, just the way of writing is different. That is known as mixed fraction. Mixed fraction. In this kind of a fraction, my fraction is written in the form of w n by d. For an example, 1, 2 by 3, where this 1 is w, that is whole number, and 2 is the numerator, and 3 is the denominator. So over here, we know what is n and d. W over here means the whole number. What is whole number? Any number that in the number system that begins with 0 till infinity, all the number belongs to whole number. Now this form of a fraction is called the mixed fraction. Now because as I told you, improper fraction and the mixed fraction are the same thing, so we are able to actually convert these two. What is the method to it? If we want to convert an improper fraction to a mixed fraction, we have to use a certain procedure. The procedure is, for an example, the improper fraction given to us is 7 by 9 by 7. It is an improper fraction and we need to convert this into, we are writing it over here. We'll use a different color to make it more striking. So for an example, it is 9 by 7. If you want to convert it into mixed fraction, what we have to do is, we will simply divide 9 by 7. So 7 ones are 7 and 2 as the remainder. Now once we have done it, we have to remember that here the quotient becomes my whole number, my remainder becomes my numerator, and my divisor becomes my denominator. Now we are going to represent it properly. So here my whole number is 1, numerator is 2, and denominator is 7. So mixed fraction is 2 by 7. So we can say that 9 by 7 and 2 by 7 are the same thing. So we will write it this way. 9 by 7 is actually equal to 2 by 7. Both means the same thing, just their representation is different. Now similarly, we can convert the mixed fraction into improper fraction as well. The process to it is, actually we are going to use a simple formula. The formula is whole number into denominator plus numerator by denominator. So you see, if you're given the question like 1, 2 by 7, over here 1 is my whole number. So 1 into denominator is 7. So 7 plus numerator is 2. So 2 divided by the denominator, that is 7. So Bodmer says that we need to multiply first and then add. So 1 into 7 is 7 plus 2 is 9. So 9 by 7. You can see we have got the same number. So this way we can prove that mixed fraction and improper fractions are always the same. There is also another type of a fraction which is called the unit fraction. Unit fractions are fractions that have 1 in their numerator, only 1 in their numerator. For an example, 1 by 3, 1 by 5, 1 by 7, these are all unit fractions. If it is given as in this form, like for an example 1 by 3, then this is not a unit fraction because it actually means converted. This is actually mixed fraction. So 1, that is whole number. So 1 into 3, 3 plus 1, 4. So it is actually is equal to 4 by 3. So it doesn't have 1 in the numerator. So definitely this is not a unit fraction. Now what we are going to learn is what is called the equivalent fraction. Equivalent fraction means a fraction, two fractions or three fractions with the same value. But it looks different but the same value. How is this possible? For an example, we have got a fraction 2 by 3. If we multiply both of these with the same number, that is 2 in the numerator and 2 in the denominator as well, what we get is, after multiplication, 2 into 2, 4, and 3 into 2, 6. So 2 by 3 and 4 by 6 both becomes an equivalent fraction because it is actually the same thing. If we divide again 4 with 2 and 6 with 2, what we get is again 2 by 3, the fraction that we had started off with. So that is why these are known as equivalent fractions. I also prove it to you with the help of a diagram. For an example, there are two pieces of cake of the same size. Okay, one of it is divided into three equal parts, and another is divided into six equal parts. So basically, I'm going to show you the 2 by 3 concept here and the 4 by 6 concept here. So first is 2 by 3. So that is why I have divided my cake into three parts. 2 by 3 means this part and this part. Whereas second fraction, I'm trying to show you the 4 by 6. Here again we have to shade four parts. One part, two part, three part, four part. So if you see, both of them are the same. This is because these two are actually equivalent fractions. So you will see the share of it is actually same. So in this way, diagrammatically also, we can prove that 2 by 3 and 4 by 6 are same. So how are we going to compare it? For an example, we are given 2 by 3 and 4 by 9. Now see, always pick the smaller fraction. Here it is 2 by 3. Try and multiply. Take one thing at a time. Like take this first, the numerators. See, we know distinctly that 2 into 2 is 4. So multiply the numerator with 2. Then you must multiply the denominator with 2. But multiplying 2 into 2 we get 4, but 3 into 2 is not 6. It is not 9, whereas it is 6. That is why it is not an equivalent fraction. We are also given questions as in 4 by 18 is equal to, an example, let's make it 7, and this is 21. So what will be here in this box? This is actually using the equivalent fraction method. We're going to do it. You have to find an equivalent fraction. The step is whatever is given to us in the numerator and denominator is this fraction. Now we have to check the common link. The common link is this, the denominator of both the fractions which are given. Now think with which number you must multiply the given number so that we get the another number. By what number should you multiply the smaller number to get the greater number? So 7 into 3 we know is 21, which means the numerator should also be multiplied with the same number. So it is 4 into 3, 12.